Yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? My name's Alckemy. Welcome to the channel. Today, I getting down on some filter table, and we are going to be taking a look at some sounds and exploring and all that other stuff. I've already been kind of messing around with it a little bit. I actually haven't had a lot of time with it, even though it's been part of the beta for a while now. Just the thing is like I don't get to demo a lot of this stuff because, well, it's under a verbal NDA, and most of the time when I'm streaming, or yeah, actually most of the time when I'm streaming is the only studio time that I get to do, unless if I'm doing like very specific work. So I haven't had much time with it, even though I've known about it for a long time. So it's pretty new, just as new to me as most of you all, other than knowing that it's a thing and that it exists. So we're going to take the time to mess with it a bit and see if we can get some cool stuff. I've already made a couple of cool sounds that I'm very happy with, but long story short, this is a spectral effect. And what it does is it tries to... The way that they described it was that it's actually a very short convolution reverb that you can utilize short samples, aka wavetables, that is morphable and you can modulate and automate and whatnot into a impulse response, which it's kind of crazy to think about, but in reality, it's basically a wavetable filter that you can build custom shapes to and whatnot. The reason why, the reason why I think that this is really interesting is because it actually has streamlined a lot of different, a lot of different filter shapes, especially when it comes into neuro-based stuff, that I don't have to sit there and automate the whole thing. I can just morph. And it's very different than something like MorphEQ from Minimal Audio, because of the way that it sounds, and also the fact that it is spectral gives it a different flavor. We have a snare right here. I've already made the snare, but this is what it sounds like on its own. This is going to be loud. And this is 100% inside of phase plant. And I was just talking with Cage about this a few minutes ago. But shout out to Cage. Everybody go follow him, please. He's wonderful. But yeah, so the filter table actually is giving this a really cool like airiness to the sound. And so if we take this off, like, I don't know about you, but the presence of what this has brought out, and I don't think that it's just because the high end actually sounds very interesting to me. Can you all tell the difference? Can you spot the difference? So it's pretty interesting into put a hi-hat into it and applied it to a snare, but yeah, I will need to experiment more. Wait, what? Yeah, so there's definitely like really cool and unpredictable things that happen within the filter table. I want to kind of like talk about how this actually works and like how to manipulate this, because it's a little bit strange. I think he's saying that he put a hi-hat into the filter table. If we take just a brand new thing, what I was paying attention to, I'm going to try to keep this visible. Wait, as much as possible anyways. So the way that I think this works for the most part is that the left side is your lower frequencies, which is synonymous with your first harmonic, which it's weird because now this is blending harmonics with frequency range, but it's strange because like just because you have the first harmonic in something does not mean that that harmonic is actually a low frequency. It's just the fundamental of what it is. The first harmonic can be at any pitch. So that's one thing to like try to not confuse. But I find that flipping the phase and by changing a lot of this stuff will give you interesting results. So anyways, if you want a high pass, then you want to start around this kind of region here and then slowly start to shape this in a lower region. And you can see that we've built ourselves a high pass. If you want a low pass, then you start with the first harmonic here and then you slowly build kind of like that, and that will create a low pass. If you want a band pass, then you only focus on the mid harmonics, kind of like so. You can see here that we built something. And this is great because what this means is that you can kind of create really interesting shapes with this, but it's still going to be in a very unpredictable way. But look at how we've created these peaks and stuff. Like, this is awesome, especially for things like Neurobase, because uh, at least for somebody like me who takes the time to build this through slice EQs, is very convenient. Very, very convenient. So let's just say like we break this, and let's say that we're going to insert a notch right here. And it's kind of nice that we can just draw this, but look at how this morphs. And so because of this, if we were to take something like a Reese like this, and we have three parameters to play with really, which is first of all cycling through the wavetable. But as you can see, this is really nice that we've still got that first harmonic. I actually need the second, because it's going to sound hollow without it. We might not even have like a bass if we don't do that. So give me 1 second. Let's just give this a little bit here, give this a little bit here, and then we'll spectrally blend that. Which the other thing is cool is like we're making more wavetables. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to fare, but we'll see. So anyways, yeah, if we play this, we've already got movement. And so if we apply an LFO, and I'm just going to stick with LFOs for now, I think, because I've been trying to get things that are more consistent, then we can, for one, just cycle through this and maybe keep that a little bit slow. And then on this one, we can kind of cycle through this and just play with the different cutoffs. And with the cutoffs, you don't need to go like super hard. You can kind of just fuck with it like this. Because if you go too high, then it becomes super squelchy. But if you kind of keep it relatively... And what's also really interesting about this is that the linear phase mode, or sorry, the phase modes will actually make a big difference to how this sounds. Yeah, it's probably cool for like for everything, to be honest. But if we send this through here and then we send this through a shaper table, and then let's say that we have maybe like just one more filter here, and we send this through random. Just the top end though. So this is consistent. We have different shapes here. Like maybe we can do something like this. And this is what I found to be the most like usable and the most workable, is just like a basic shape. And then something here can kind of work with itself. But have I tried dragging in a sample or something? I mean, you could. So let's modify this a bit because I want this to have a little bit more mids. And I'm just going to bring this up just a little bit and bring this down kind of like so. And then I'm going to go over here and kind of draw this in a little bit more and create a deeper notch kind of like in this region and see what that does. And then let's crossfade them. There we go. And then now what I'll do is I'll just pull this down a little bit and see what that does. So coming up here, we're still getting some like kind of squelchy high end, and we can kind of just modify this depending on what we're trying to do. So this is a really good starting point. I'm going to take this off, but if we were to throw this into multipass and do something that is actually like really important, I guess to say, like one thing that I love about this is that compared to all of the other filters, this is actually one that has a true mix on it. So if we were to create a bandpass on this, kind of like so, yeah, that's fine, whatever. and we just leave this where it is, well, if we cut this off, it's actually going to take off the mix. And that was something that I've been asking forever for all of the filters. The reason why this is important is because if you have a bandpass, right, and you turn it off, well, now that you can actually have like a parallel mix behind all this stuff, and that's like very important when it comes into making vowels and stuff like this, because what ends up happening is if it's a complete bandpass, you end up sometimes taking away too much of the sound, where this can kind of play with the blend. So for example, if we were to play with the mix of this to where it goes completely on and off, then what you're doing is you're essentially closing the mouth, right? So if you go ow like that, then that having the mix between a bandpass makes that possible and just makes it that much easier to work with. So yeah, sorry for the nerd stuff, but that's kind of how that works, and that's why that's important to me. That being said, if we were to send this through like a comb filter, just kind of keep that there, and then I'll go through some standard practice things that I usually do on stuff to make it sound a little bit more high end. Oops. And just one of these guys. Turn this down, mess with the color. Then, yeah, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, that's sounding pretty good. So now what I'll do is grab the filter and then I'll set this to a different one, which this is great because this is going to change how I make these neurobasses and stuff on a template now. The template's going to evolve, and I'm very excited about that. But because we have a play behind the low pass, and then this is doing whatever it wants. Yeah, it's almost there. Almost there. So let's go ahead and back off of this just a bit. We'll send this through another notch. Almost there. Kind of just roll that in between, and then what I'm going to do is give this just a little bit of space, so that way it sounds a little bit cooler, and we can utilize one of these guys to turn it down. We can add an OTT to this, which is usually, I just use this guy, which is the final neuro chain. This is just multi-band compression. I usually just pull out the high end on it. It also gives me a sub if I need it, which is nice. There we go. Now it's kind of starting to build out. And we can probably apply a flanger to this. Turn the scroll on, turn this down just a little bit, and then you can start to play with the shapes as well to see what this is going to do. And something else that we can experiment with is be like, all right, what happens if we place this after? Cool. We can turn on the fuse compressor on this, and I need to reset this. Or no, I don't. I just need to go back and pull this off, but this will make this a lot bigger. That's interesting. Hello? That's very thoughtful. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, you hear those ah sounds. That's kind of sick. So, I've got a couple of patches that I've already made, and not every single one is going to be successful, but that's kind of the cool thing about this. Um, so if we go here, maybe I'll just type it up. This is one that I made earlier today. It's very simple, but we have kind of a weird shape like this. And what I like about this is that, as you can see, like just the shape itself is very strange, but it's very easy to put together. And as long as you kind of abide by a couple of rules, like this one sounds much better in my opinion. But so if we were to send that through a fuse compressor, then that could be pretty nice. Like the sizzle on this just sounds really good. And this is a use case to where I feel like even though there is a hint of spectral, you know, like laseriness to this, it doesn't sound like it's overbearing on the sound. Man, that just... That's so cool. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, dude, fuse compressor is my favorite thing from minimal audio by far. There's also another one. We already looked at a snare earlier at the beginning of the video, but I thought there was another sound that I made. Maybe I did. Maybe I just didn't save it. What is this? Yeah, so this was another thing that I was working on that it was more so just like a growl. And it's a little quiet, but that's okay. But let me see the final neuro chain. Yeah, so you can get into some pretty cool stuff. Now, like, you still have to go the distance and, like, you know, get some stuff to make it sound a little bit more. Which, that's pretty cool. We can also do something to where like we have like a 15th harmonic or something and then just like apply that to this. So right now we have a 7th harmonic, but if we just start to add this here. Yeah, true. I mean, to be fair though, the ladder filter it has always made that to be a pretty simple task. That's pretty sick. Yeah, it's a little bit screechy, but you know, just taming some of that on the high end. Kind of cool to get some interesting things out of it. But yeah, I mean, these are kind of like just regular use cases and stuff. And something else that I want to experiment with, which I'll probably do in about 30 minutes or so, is see if I can get interesting percussion out of the morphing, which I think would be pretty, that's going to be pretty sweet actually when it's time to do that. But let's do some more bass stuff. Let's see, we can just make a wavetable. And that's something that I love about Faceplant is like people are like, oh, if I want to use Serum and make direct sounds or whatever, then, you know, I'm just going to go for that. But I'm like, you can get way cooler shit in a fraction of the time if you just kind of take a little bit of a few seconds to learn how this stuff works. Because once you've got it, you know, and like coming up with a cool wavetable is literally like very simple. Long story short, you just need to kind of have a few different harmonics and then kind of variate the harmonics to create interesting shapes and then blend them. And then now that you've got something kind of like that, you send that into FM. And there you go. And then you just get an LFO and then you're like, all right, now we create a shape, which this is the most common, right? I know, I have told them so many times, like, y'all need a wavetable editor. But yeah, what's cool is like, okay, same thing, right? We can kind of just create a weird filter shape, kind of like so, and kind of like just respect what we would want out of this. So if we want this to kind of like even out, you see how there's a huge notch right there? You probably want to fix that right there and just kind of bring some of this up with the second and third harmonic here. Then right here we can create a dip. But yeah, we're essentially just drawing a curve. Long story short, that's a little bit high. But I like this because you can kind of just figure out very quickly like what it is that you're trying to go for. Maybe we can leave the top in as a comb. That might actually be kind of sick. But what I would say is while you're designing wavetables for filter table specifically, just watch it, what you're doing. And then look, we can kind of, this is actually kind of sick because this is kind of like a notch here. And then that's going to change itself into a comb, which I'm sure that's going to be at least somewhat interesting. Do something like this to where we can kind of transform that into the comb, kind of like so. Maybe we can start from here. Yeah. And so if we add a shaper table to that now, which is so cool because now like this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So anytime you are making a wavetable, you are essentially designing something for an oscillator, a distortion, a filter shape, and a modulation source. That's just, they're cracked. They're cracked. Now, whether or not that's applicable and like practical is another story, but just the fact that like you're designing one thing that can be applied to 4 different things, like if that doesn't resonate with you from a sound design perspective, you don't know sound design. I'm sorry. You don't. So let's give that something to bite through, which we can just kind of keep this here and give this a little bit of love and then send this through distortion and then maybe just a touch of noise, like just a touch. And so what's cool about this is we can also play with different resonance modes, which I'm a little scared of, but let's just try to be gentle with it. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. The linear and the different phase modes will change, like will affect the timbre, which is a good thing. It's, yeah, weird. Thanks, Plumpy. I appreciate the sub. Soul Steel. I'll tell you what, if we could get one more Azoth member, I will donate 5 subs. If anybody is down to match. So yeah, we can apply a really short delay to this to make this a little bit more. And then maybe place this before the distortion. Then place this into multipass. And then, hey Chu, what's up? Long time no see. We can place this into the final neurochain. Crazy. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is we'll just build a wall of sound, as Zane likes to put it, which is a great description. But we're just going to compress the shit out of this. And make it really loud. Hope you like loud, because it's about to be. Reminds you of the Fifth Element. So let's distort it again. Sick. Let's go saturation. Let's turn up the noise just a little bit. We can make this stereo. That gives it just a little bit of sizzle. And then we can tame the mids with either something like this. Oh God. Maybe tame the high end right there. And then do it again with maybe another one. We can always use like a EQ if we want to, but sometimes this is just nice to be like. And then what we can also do is kind of just play around with like, all right, what happens if I do this? Crazy. Let's do another one. But this time we're going to reverse it. And I'm going to make this go downward, kind of like so. And then we're going to change the wavetable into something else. So I don't have a direction with this, by the way. I'm just fucking around and being like, what does this do? What does that do? Ooh, what does this button do? You know? There we go. Let's see what that does. Wow. Okay. Okay. Might be kind of cool to comb that out and see what that does, to see if we can get like a really harsh tearing sound. Okay, let's exacerbate it with the flanger. Let me put a fat trader on the top end. Okay, let's take it further. Something else that might be kind of cool is we can place a random here and just let that kind of fuck the phase up on the mid to the highs and see what that does. And then now that we have that, let me turn this off. Oh, wow. Yo, what's up? That's insane. Okay, so now let's see what would happen if we apply a pitch bend to it. I don't know. Wow. That's so cool. I really want to like pull out those mids more. So let's see if we can make this a little bit more dramatic. Let's try a dynamics and let's see what that does if we have a short attack and long release. And then what we'll do is just bump this. And then maybe what we can do is apply this here to where this is the first thing, to where we're just squashing it. And then maybe if it doesn't work out, I'll go back a few steps. So I'm not too worried about it, but that's pretty fucking cool. And let's just tear through it again. New filter table reminds you of Razor with the new type of shit you can do with it. Yeah, I could see that. It does kind of, in some cases, have an additive quality to it. Let's create a different neural filter to this. And let's just see what that does. Okay, so we killed it, but that's okay. It's okay. All we need to do is just this. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe one. Maybe one would be good. Dang. Okay, so what would happen if we did it again, but we didn't have these? Maybe if we did have this. Yeah, it'd be pretty wild, huh? Okay, so we've got some insane, like, distorted low end, but we need to pull this back up and maybe go this way, so that way the high end comes back more. Yes. Hi. Okay. Let's create a Reese into that. Okay, so those those undertones on there, Like, there's some things in here that I want to cherry pick that I'm just like, oh man. Dude. Maybe minus the clicks, but bro. Yeah, like this with some reverb on the top end and maybe another OTT. Oh, we are sending it through another OTT. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, if we sent this through like a neuro bass rack, which I'll turn this off. But this thing that I have here is just my standard like enhancer, which is just an OTT with reverb on the top end, kind of like so, and then a clipper. This is gonna sound wild, I bet. Okay, hold on. Damn. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think so far on the filter table? About the filter table, anyway. Yeah, something else I was experimenting with was I've been working on some stuff for Lunacy with Beam, and so getting different textures and all that. Crazy. That's so cool. Okay, what does it sound like without it? What should we call this? Let's call this rejected. You have been rejected. Damn. I'd be really curious to see somebody manipulate this sound in the right hands. Hey, Levi, what's up, dude? Yeah, that's a cool name. I'll maybe do that for the next one or so. Okay, how about drums? So, or percussion rather. So let me set up a very quick generator for this. I don't know. So, what do you all think about this so far? Um, is it yay, nay? I don't know. On the fence? Are you going to grab filter table? So I need to set all of these to always retrigger, because that way it's going to actually do the thing when I want it to. Always retrigger. Okay, let's grab another one of these, and I'm going to pull the decay down on this. And then maybe another one to give it different different noise shapes. Okay, let's grab a transient shaper, turn the clipping on, pull the sustain down just a bit. Okay. And then for this, I want this to be shorter. Shorter. Cool. Let's do some of this first. And then now what's really interesting about the filter table is that like if you do this correctly, we can build custom comb filters that are going to be spectral. And so it's going to kind of give a sense of digital sounds along with things that are unnatural. So it should combine the natural with the unnatural. Because there are known knowns, there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. And basically what I'm doing here, which as you can see, I'm creating combs. You can also create combs this way. I just think that it's harder to do it like this. Maybe not. Maybe I just suck. I've never been one for drawing unless if I like look at something while I'm drawing it, or I was also decent at contour. But maybe that could be cool to transfer this into, transition this from peaks into something that's more aligned with this, kind of like so. And then let's go here, and then let's see what I can get out of this. So if I go the opposite way now, yoink, 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 a little bit higher, a little bit higher now, a little bit higher now, a little bit higher now, a little bit higher. Okay. I have no idea what this is going to do, but let's fire this through the thing and see how this reacts with some of this stuff. Hey, stereo. Yep. Interesting. So we need to keep this within a certain range because the LFO itself has a couple of like really hard, the shape itself has some really strange overtones on it that's a little too bright. But Ouch. I'm sorry. So if we send just a touch of reverb through this, it doesn't need to be anything huge, but this should give us some more interesting things to play with. Okay. Now what I will do is we're going to grab another one of these, but only set it to positive, and then we're going to set the cutoff to go down. I'm afraid what would happen if the cutoff goes up. Let's grab a bandpass. Just kind of grab one of these and see what this does. Then we'll grab a shaper table. We'll grab a compressor. Yoink, 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 yoink. Okay. For my sanity and yours, we are going to grab one of these guys. Open this up. We're going to get an audio follower. No, stop, stop. Why are you doing that? And turn that down. There we go. So let's maybe isolate some of this and see if we can. And it sounds like most of this is just being overtaken by the convolver. So maybe a frequency shifter would be in order for this. I only usually go up to like 300 and then down, because anything after that gets really harsh and is like painful. But if you go down from here, then you can go as far as you want. But going up, like some of that stuff is just like, dog, ow, please. So be careful with that. Let's play with the phases and see if that does anything. No. No. So probably minimum would be good. Ouch. Yeah, that's starting to sound a lot more realistic. Not necessarily like, it's not necessarily what I was going for, but just as a means of like a byproduct of, oh, okay, well that sounds kind of cool. Ow, dude. I'm gonna make this a little bit longer. And then something else that we can also do is apply a wavetable to this. Give this a little bit of stuff here. Duplicate this. We can just keep the same thing, but make this have varying degrees of whatever is going on. And then we can grab another random here and just play with the harmonic, although keep it reasonable, I would say. And then let's see if we can get some more stuff out of that. Let's try to change this up. Just kind of turning these up so that way I don't have to keep hitting the thing. And what is this controlling? So let's pull this over to the end. Sorry this isn't being as nearly as exciting as the bass stuff, but just experimenting with it. So, yeah. Wait, this will generate a random wavetable? Or a random preset? No fucking way. Okay, no, it doesn't. Okay. It just places this in a random position. I was like, what? I was about to lose my mind. Cool. Okay. I'm going to leave these for all of the Ether members or above in the Discord of whatever we make today. All right. How about we do something that is like a bell, and let's see what we can get out of that. And let's just go ham and generate something weird. Notch, strange resonances. Just weird shit. I like this. I like that this like encourages you to not just have, you know, the typical things that you normally would. Like the more complex the wavetable, the more, maybe not always, but in a lot of cases, right? Just having weird stuff like this is probably going to be pretty cool. So we'll need to put a compressor on this because of the resonances. There we go. Let's grab a random on here and let's just flip this in different places and see what that does. But maybe not so dramatic. If anybody has any questions about anything too, or like anything that they've found, I would love to know, because right now I'm just kind of shooting around in the dark, and this is like, I wouldn't say a first look, but yeah, but close enough. I haven't had much time with this. Just a little bit of noise. We're gonna bring this to a new group, so that way it's on its own. What would happen if we give this some spread? Wow. Hey, Jason. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Jason Brown. Been a long time, comrade. Died in a crash 2 years ago. Is that what they told you? Do you know what that's from? It's from the original Resident Evil 4. Been a long time, comrade. Krauser. There we go. They're both great. I would actually recommend playing both of them. That's fucking crazy. That sounds almost like it sounds like a voice. Right, yeah. Like, I think that a lot of people that wanted the reverb filter shape in this are going to be very happy. Wow, that's so cool. I'm going to add a fifth. We could. The way that I like to make Yoi basses is just with notch filters. Oh shit, wrong one. I meant to do this. I was like, why does it sound weird? And then maybe we can make this not so resonant right there, because that top end right there is what's giving it that. So maybe even push that up higher. Oh god. Nice. So we can roll off the top end of that just a little bit. And you already know what's coming next, right? We got to make this like an old PS2 vibe. We're going to go full on comb filter and full on flanger chorus. Except I want the high end to be a little bit more crispy through that. So let's see if we can. All right, hold on. Hold on one sec. Just kind of roll off the high end there. And then we can back off of this just a bit. Or we can keep it and saturate it, but then put the compressor at the end. and adjust the makeup. Yeah, it's a bit much. Sorry. Okay, so sorry. Sometimes there has to be an order of operations in order to control this. So we'll just grab the gain and turn that down just a bit. There we go. Now we can play with this a little bit more too, and let's see what that does. So if we made this into something that would be like a pluck, the gears are turning. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking sick. I love it. Let's combine that with beam, and let's see what we can get. What up, Captain? Hey, Arl. So cool. What is it doing? Nothing. It's off. Now it's on. Basically. Maybe I should record this riff. Because that would actually be a sick fucking jungle beat. Yeah, we'll do a different preset. Or actually, let me quantize this so that way I can save this for later. And then, is it worth the price for Beam? Guys, I love Beam. I know that a November sale is coming up, I'm sure, so maybe wait for that. But also, like, I have to be 100% transparent. Like, I work with Beam a lot, or with Lunacy Audio, and so I might not be the most trustworthy person to like come for consolation about. But I will say, and you all know me too, but I will say that the reason why I work with them is because Beam is fucking sick. Even with most of the time, whenever I design patches, it's honestly just a sine wave or a piano. But like, all right, let's take a small tangent towards Beam because, for one, shout out to Casey because he's just a really fucking cool guy. But just sine waves, right? You can get just absolutely gorgeous stuff just from fucking with this. So we'll build a patch. I know it's finally out. Yay. Convolution reverb, you can import your own impulse responses. Elvish plate is actually my favorite. That's what I like to use on like 90% of the shit. But let's say we just want to set this to a rate. Basically, long story short, Beam is like Portal on crack. Beam is like Portal on crack. So let's set this to an octave. Like, we're already getting such cool sounds, right? Yes. Why not? I will say that sometimes this can make it a little bit more quiet, but that's okay. So once we have something like this, we can apply filtering if we want to. We have 2 LFOs to work with. I do hope in the future they add more LFOs because just think of the potential. Think of the potential. We also have filtering, which I'm hoping that they add a mix knob to, which I think would be nice. I don't know if they would or not, but let's just say we want to do this, and I'm just going to make some shit up on the fly without thinking about it too much, but we can apply a stepper. There's also random built into it, so you don't have to have one or the other. You can do something like that, which is nice. You'll notice that most of the stuff is mapped to CC, so if you want to combine this with Bitwig, then you can, which is great. But I'm going to set this to be a little bit slower, and then we'll just click and drag this over to the cutoff, kind of like so. Gotta go, man. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Depressed. Yeah, I hear you. Hopefully it's the former, but I understand. Right, so now we're getting cool, like, little morphy things like that. But then we can go into this and start to manipulate the time. And you can have 3 of each of these in a single thing. You can also divert these into parallel chains, which I don't remember how many chains you can have, but we can find out. 4, 5. So you can have 5 parallel signals at once. undo button. That is a feature. It's actually a really important one, especially when I was designing stuff when they first came out. Cool, so we'll set the stretch to be in time with the BPM. Also, a limit to the amount of modules. Can't have 90 granular modules. That I already said that before you came in. You can have 3 of each. But yeah, so this can act as a pitch shifter as well if you want it to, or you can just change the speed. Man, I'm sorry guys, I can't talk today. Or you can slow things down and do like time stop or tape stops, which is sometimes cool. Because if you set it to resample, then this will actually tape stop. So. Which is so cool. Because then if you combine this with like another instance of convolution, like this just gets really pretty very fast. Yeah, basically, plus convolution, custom convolution reverb. It doesn't have saturate in it. It does have a clipper, or clipper/limiter built into it, but I think he's talking about newfangled. That's just, ah, oh, dude, that's so pretty. And like I said, this is just a sine wave. So if you actually put this on something that matters. So let's say we put beam on that. This one on here. Like, let's see what this does. Oh, dude, and it's super efficient, but something that's a fun fact about this is, what's it called? The former employees from Pixar designed this, and it's very CPU efficient. I know that, hey Jedediah, long time no see. I know that today's stream is about filter table, but just as a side note on Beam, like there's a lot to like about it from a practical standpoint, because like what I like to do whenever I write tracks, let's just take this off for now. And then what I'll do is just modify this just a bit. Set this to texture and set the duration of this to like 2/1. We can also reverse this by changing the shuffle. I don't. Whoever just bought... Who just bought that? Whoever just bought Requiem 3, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's a preset pack from the website. Thank you. I hope you love it. So, anyways, like I was saying, we can kind of do something like this to where we can play with both of these and kind of set this up here. But what I love about this is that like you can play with different harmonies like this. And then what I like to do, I know I said it like 5 times, is just open this up and go into repitch and then just break it and be like, what is this gonna do? Okay, there we go. So we got a hook right there, just on loop. I guess today we're feeling kind of jungly, but if you just... Right, you know, just... Oh, sorry. You know, and then you can do like really cool stuff like this, so like... Thanks, Max. And the track is ready. Not necessarily, but... And then you can do other cool stuff too, like, I like to send this through Color Core? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, you kids and your... You know, so now we can have like different pads and stuff like that, and then pitch that back up too, and just see what that sounds like over this. Or we could just do something like this and see what kind of weird rhythm we can come up with. So... Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, maybe mix in filter table with drums for extra cool resonances. Yeah, we could do that too. It's kind of just keeping it in the confinements of phase plant, but yeah. But the vocal sounds from this are just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Yes. Yes. I could grab one of my own drum loops, which might be fun. I would need to find them, but it might be worth waiting a second and seeing if I can. Where are you at, rolling sampler? Boom. Date modified. I know that I made some drum loops not too long ago. So we could try filter table on that, but let's table filter table. Whatever. Actually, let me go in here. Okay. And then let me add some clipping to this. I'm not going to boost the signal of this because it's already like fucking clipped to death, but it could be kind of cool to come up with something weird. Why does this do this? Does anybody know? Every time I pull up an individual snap-in like that, it always does that. And I don't know why. Okay. Just do something strange here. Come on, y'all, let's get weird. Oh god, that's gonna be bad. You just take a little break right there. With that, it can do with what it can do sound design wise. Yeah, I am in favor of saying that this is a good thing for us weirdos. That seems a bit scary. I'm going to modify this just a bit. Hope you don't mind. And just kind of pull back on some of this stuff. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. There. There you go. Just mellow that out just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so let's go here, go crossfade. There we go. Okay, let's turn this down. Let's try again. Let's turn this down. Try again. But like, do you see how like these custom comb filters and stuff really give a sense of physicality to just to the overall sound? And I like that because the physicality works really well for just about every kind of sound that I like to do, to be honest. We're gonna apply this here. Set that to quarter note, and then let's create another one and set this to the cutoff. And let's turn the cutoff to bipolar, and let's just see what that does. Well, yeah, but I'm just like, I'm not really trying to go for a specific like thing to make it functional. I'm really trying to hear what it's doing. So that's why I'm just leaving it on 100% mix. So this is actually, yeah, this is actually going to be great because something that I like to do on my tracks anyways is like resample an entire drum loop. I usually run it through convolution reverb and then some kind of insane distortion. So we can just do something like this. Throw a gate. Turn that up pretty high. And then what we can do is play around with some other things like super heavy distortion. So we can go like filter table. Are you the level creator in GD? What's GD? No, sorry, shaper table. I do wish that these were named something a little more unique because if I actually maybe not, maybe these will be like top plugins that I would look for anyways, but I don't know. Let's do something like a growl and just back off of this. Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Quarter note. Fuck with the mix. Pull the mix off just a little bit. I'm sorry. So then what we do is OTT this. Long attack, long release, everything goes up. Let's provide more aggression on the gate. Then we need a delay. Cool. So like we've got all this cool shit now. And a lot of times you can just like make completely new things out of this, or you can set this to one of these guys, and then you can just place this under the drums or just get other shit. So yeah, just weird sounds like that. Like, even though this sounds fucking ass, the rhythm of this is pretty ace. So like if we had something like this, and then we just replace this with drums, like listen to this. That's so cool. Like this is a great way to kind of like try to come up with new drum beats and stuff. Because if we do something like this and we duplicate it and then we kind of have something like that. I'm not going to start a beat today. I don't feel like making music today. Hope you all don't mind. We can use this as a kick. So yeah, like it's cool ways to surf. But even things like this, like these are really good textures for putting under snares. So I think I still have a snare that I made in this here somewhere. I think it's right here. But listen to the future. If we kind of place that there and like, you know, obviously mix it, but just having this kind of texture can sometimes be super cool. Or even something like this to where you do a pre-snare. And then just try to mess with different. How about that snare though? Yeah. See, like that kind of shit. Then you can do cool stuff like add like a flex chorus or something like that to the bottom end of this. Just high pass it, but put this at like 100%. Still not quite what I want, but that's okay. Do like a fuse compressor. Just textures. Just textures. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get back to faceplant. Yeah, that's really nice. Does anybody have any questions, or is there anything that you all want to see? Maybe we can do like a metallic lead or something. just a bit of randomness. Oh, it's an easy recommendation. Super, yeah. It's a no-brainer. To be honest with you, like, I feel I'm almost asking myself how I lived without this. I really like it. I think that it has a lot of potential for cool stuff that kind of like complements what my sound design that I already do. Hmm. Ooh, man, I should probably. I need to record that too. Yeah, I think that would be a sick bass. There's a multi-effect I was using earlier this week, but can't remember the name of it. Beam. I have a question. I was trying to do something just in Facepan. I couldn't work it out. 808 sine with 1 and 3 mid only and harmonic 2 sides only. Yeah, you can do that pretty easy. It's a good question. Although, why not just have one and why use two? If you have just 1 and 3, you're gonna have better separation anyways. But first one goes here. Second group, you go wavetable, or not. You can go second harmonic here. Lane 2. You go stereo, mids. This one, sides. Send this to lane 3. I'll take a look in a second, But yeah, essentially what's going to happen is your 1 and your 3 are going to be sent to here, then your second harmonic is going to be sent to here. And then you can control that individually how you might want to. So let's say you want to busy that up and then just apply like insane amounts of distortion to this. Maybe apply like a high pass filter or something, which could be nice. You would need to add, oh, sorry, this needs to go on the end. My bad. It's fine. There we go. Maybe not. Lane 3, that's going to lane 2. Why is that not making any sound? Do, 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 do. Okay. Well, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't working. Oh, weird. Is this playing anything? Okay, I'm not deaf. So it's weird because if you do this with a snap heap, it'll work. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not working with this. I don't think that's supposed to. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Oh, there we go. It's just super faint. I think that's why. There we go. But now there's a chorus. Well, you have to realize that there's no stereo on this. So in order for you to have side signal, you have to have some kind of stereo. I mean, a different thing that you could do if you wanted to was instead of doing this, you can have 2 separate outs like this. So you can go one to the left and one to the right, which that'll work. You grab this, take this out. There's also a way to separate this with the channel mixer. We just need to open this up and go to mid side, side only. And it might just be really quiet. That's my only guess. I'm starting to think that there's a bug with this because this should work. Yeah, there's just something going on there to where it's just super duper quiet. So yeah, that's why. For some reason, there's just an insane amount of gain reduction. And so I think that if you just bump it, then you can get away with not having chorus. But I mean, either way. But now that you have that, you can. To be honest with you though, like, as opposed to just doing this, I would just, if you want to like have like a fat 808 that has good stereo, just go here. 1, 3. If you add distortion, this you will make this up in between, depending on what kind of distortion you use, of course. But because if you look at this on a frequency spectrum, let's say we just add shaper table. Of course, it, like I said, it depends on what kind of distortion you add, but distortion is meant to add harmonics. So even though it won't be a clean sine wave or whatever, see that? But this is already fat. You don't really need much else other than that, to be honest, other than like, you know, just your pitch bendies and stuff. And then if you really wanted to add your stereo to it, then you take this signal, and yeah, you still have to add something here to do that. That's just kind of part of the game with how that works. But the thing is that everything that's, say, under 130 will be in mono, and then what you do to the top end won't really matter. Like even just a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of chorus, because like, in order for you to have stereo, like understand that you have to have a difference. Sorry, and you might already know this, but you have to have a difference between the left and the right channel. When you add a chorus, if you have 2 taps, the only thing that that's doing is creating a short delay. So it'd be very synonymous with a Haas effect, but to a much less dramatic degree, depending on how you adjust the mix. The problem with the Haas on kilohertz is that it's only 100% left and right? Or it's only 100% dry wet. So what you have to do in order to have that is create a stereo separation in the first place. But once you do that, then that's when you can go and distort the sides and start to have like your mid-side stuff. But that's how you get like I'm doing now, like your fatter, wide 808s. But what I'm saying is that like in order for you to have side information, you still have to have stereo. Because when you are isolating something from stereo, you're completely removing the shared information between the left and right channel and only looking at the difference. But there still has to be a difference present when talking about this. Does that make sense? Because you will not hear, I can force a signal into the side only. But what I'm saying is like if you it's an order of operations, right? Because you still have to create a side signal. In order for you to create a side signal, you have to create stereo. This should work. See? But like I said, if it doesn't have a difference between the two, then there's no side signal to take. You can't just force something into side signal if the exact same information from the left and right channel is the same. There has to be an instance of stereo. Okay, yes, that will work, but you're flipping the phase, so you're creating a difference between the two. One harmonic only? Wait, what? Yeah, when that's what I'm saying. You are flipping the phase of the left signal. Does that make sense? You are creating stereo by flipping the phase of the left signal. No, you still, well, maybe not. I think it's still there. I think it's just quiet. Okay, so then what you would attempt to see if you can get the same phenomenon is try to apply that same logic to this. So if you go here and then you go to 1, then you have 2, go to 2, you turn this off, go to your stereo, right? Take out the mids. Um, you still have to create a left and right channel for this because right now the signal is completely mono. So like it still wouldn't work, I think, but perhaps if you rotate the phase of this, then maybe. So maybe not a hard left, hard right, but a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Let's see what that does. See if there's any side signal. Yeah, so you're getting the same thing. But like just the rules of how this works, in order for you to have a side signal, you have to have stereo. So introduce the stereo in this way by just a little bit, and now through flipping this, you only have stereo. Well, even if you don't move the phase, it should still work. Yeah, it still works. It's this. You have to create stereo somehow. I think that the thing that we just did with only taking the left thing, like there's still some kind of rotation or something that creates an offset. That seems like imperfect to me. Yeah, I just checked the stereo field with an oscilloscope. This is mids only. Or sorry, that was sides only. My bad. That's okay. But orange is mid and blue is sides, so this is only on the sides. So the orange is zero crossing, which means that there's no mids happening. That's just the way that sound works though. Like I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to like flex a check or anything, but that is how side signal works. You have to have stereo in order for there to be sides at all. Because if all of the information is the same, then there is no difference between the mid and the sides. Does that make sense? It's just one. It's just one signal. So you have to create stereo somehow. It is the rule of phase. Anyway. But yeah, doing it this way with just a small pan will get you there. It's a little quiet, but just turn it up. And then you have your first and your third. And then you distort the fuck out. But now if you fuck with harmonic 1 and harmonic 3, the side signals should stay clean, right? Yeah, because inherently this signal right here is going to lane 1, and there is no information that is side signal. So you have the 2s that you can fuck with and add whatever you want to. Then on this side you have the you've got your main focal signal. So if you were to look at this on a stereo field, on an imager, you should have one line that's like right in the middle, and then you should have another one that is like floating around. That's interesting. If you want to match this and make it even, then you can turn this down, and you can also solo this too if you want to, just to check, but it's not going to make a difference. But if the signal is even with both mid and side, there you go. So there's your mid signal, and then your side is right here. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, let's do some more bass stuff. Let's add a shaper table. Oh wait, I just did. I'm in a transient shaper. Shaper, table, filter, shaper, table. Jesus, dude. So let's add something that's kind of like a bandpass thing to this. Give me just a little bit of this. Same thing here. Just create some notches. Kind of like so. See what that does. Then we can set that to something like that. Also adjust the mix, which I love. Set this to 4 and make this kind of move. It's actually more of a convolution reverb that utilizes wavetables as impulses. From how kilohertz themselves have explained it. Which is pretty crazy. Sounds pretty cool. I know, right? I think that they managed to pull spectral off in a way that is not just lasery. Like, it's got a little bit of it, which is fine, but it's not like overbearing. In case if I'm interested, you got it exactly the same as tool device by hard panning the oscillator fully to one side and then removing the mid signal with the stereo snap-in. Struggling. Why would you do? I mean, cool, but whatever I showed you worked. I don't really see any reason to do anything different. Yeah, this is very like organic. Hey, Polywobble. Just bought this today. How are you liking it? I think we need to have that at the beginning. And then maybe like just a regular filter to pump up the high end. I really want this to like tear through. try to add just a little bit of white noise to the top end and see if that'll help. Sorry. I keep pushing my trackpad away from me. Okay, so maybe what I can do is because it sounds a little bit muffled. Yes. No, we just squarified it too hard. Like, why is this moving so slow? There we go. Sick. That's really cool. Wow. sick, man. I think that, like, I think the filter table for neurobasses is such a W. I think that it really helped give it like just that extra edge that it needed for vocal sounds, you know, for the kind of vocal sounds that I like anyways. Because like you hear how the vowels and stuff are still really low, but it doesn't sound like color bass, and it doesn't sound like a vowel filter. And that's what I love about it. Like come on, that's so cool. Dope. That's like a blah. I wonder what else I could do to this to make it just... Well, I'm sure if I turn this into just a sine wave and a square and just left the harmonic on, then it would kind of start doing the stuff that we did on that last patch. Yeah. Like, it would also be kind of cool if we had something like this, if we wanted to like bite off of Noisia and just have a crazy thing like that. But we start from here and then we pull it in. Oh my god, yes. That's so sick. And then I'm kind of just messing around with trying to change the shape of this stuff and seeing like what we can get. Excite bike. Damn, that's awesome. Let's pull this back up. Cool, man. Yeah, I think filter table is pretty fucking sweet, to be honest. Does anybody have any questions about anything regarding this? Or I think that I'm ready for like discussion and chat time if anybody's down. Or if there's anything that anybody wants me to try, I'm down for that too. But as a universal tool for like how this fits into my sound design, this is the nicest of compliments. We made some really sick sounds today too that I'm pretty happy with. And I'm most likely in my review going to ask for something that that Kilohearts most likely will not do. But they might, maybe. Sick. Yeah, just awesome. Yeah, super cool sounds. Probably get rid of that one. Not really happy with that one. Did I delete the percussion one? No, I don't think I did. I think that I just moved away from it. So maybe what I'll do is probably just create like a different thing. And let me save this into... totally reminds me of something from PlayStation 2. Just angry square. Really cool. Anything else I did not save? Yeah, sick. And then what happened to that? What happened to that other square wave or that crazy fucking... Hold on one second. Oh, okay, I saved that too. Rejected. So we did bass, we did a snare, we did percussion. I think this one rejected is like my favorite of what we did today just because of the sheer audacity of this. Like, that's just insane. Use compressor. Like, come on. Oh my god, that's just so much win. Cool. Anybody got anything for me? Any questions, comments, observations? And then, of course, we did a couple of snares in here that were pretty cool. That was exclusively made in Faceplant. Maybe I missed it earlier, but can I toss it in a couple of different spots in the chain? Yeah, I did. I placed it in, like I did a lot of experiments with like, what happens if I place it here? What happens if I place it here? What happens if I place it here? But I found that for the kinds of sounds that I like, putting it at the beginning and then taking it through and then processing this sound as a whole generally is better, because what happens is you have so many resonances and stuff that you need to, for one, control it, but two, a lot of the times having a filter and then distorting the filter is going to like pull the movement out that much more. Because if you put this at the end of the chain, which is let me go back to the rejected one. Like you'll hear it, but it's not as impactful as if you put it at the beginning. So like I guess that's okay, but if you put it before, then like the metallic movement that you get is just way more apparent. You see how much like more aggressive it is now? So depending on what you want, but like, to be honest, if you really just want something that's like squelchy, then you can just use one like this and then not bother with the rest of the stuff and just make a wonky table. And I think that's like one of the coolest features about this, is that it encourages you to like break a lot of the conventional rules. Maybe not that rule, the one I just broke, but yeah, it encourages you to break a lot of the conventional rules of like creating a wavetable that's going to create a different function other than what, you know, it would sound like if it were a wavetable, if that makes sense. But if you have something like that and you got this, we go boom, and then we go crossfade, this in itself is going to create something squelchy. So, you know, and even if you just have like a little bit of randomness to this, and then if you kind of do the same thing where, let's just say you do something like that, but then you lean into it with a phaser. We probably need to take off the super high end of this, because I can hear that there's some aliasing happening, or just some crazy distortion rather, that makes it sound like a coin, but I really don't like it. There we go. Oh shit, no, there it is again. You hear that? So that's like, there we go. But we can bring some about, like we can round it out with. Ow. That's actually kind of cool. those overtones, like. As long as like that, because it's not popping out. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to control that, to be honest. But you know what? Like as a transgate, I bet that would be fucking sick. Um So if we had did something like that where it was like, you know, shout out to Dash. And then what if we did something like this where I know he would appreciate that. I know he would love that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Do you use key tracking on this, or is there no need? Well, not on this specifically. This is just it's just something to do. But sometimes I use key tracking on basses in order to capture the pulsing and try to like align the filter speed of the movement with it. So if I have a Reese that goes like woof, 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 a lot of times I'll want the filter movement to like react or create a relationship to where it's interacting with it in such a way that makes sense. This particular thing is just kind of like whatever, but yeah. I was actually going on about how playing with the chain for stuff like the rejected bass that I was doing, that would make sense to key track in some cases, but not everything. Yeah, questions are good. I ask, like, I practically beg people for questions when I'm streaming. I'm like, what do you want to know? It doesn't look like they're doing an intro sale, but I don't really know. This is not a sponsored video. They did send me a copy of this, which they always do. Thank you, Kilohearts. You guys really take care of the community. But I'm looking this up right now to see if the Snap-in has a sale. Kilohertz. Convolver, Snap Heap. It's not even on the front of their website yet. Filter table. It's currently priced at $39. I think it's worth it. If you want my quick review, but don't go off of my don't go off of my word. Listen to everything that I did today and make your own decision. That's what I would say. No matter how much I like a company, I really want you to get something that you're going to be happy with and that you're going to be like, that's fucking useful. You picked it for $16 by completing the ultimate bundle again. Let's go. Does not seem to include any premium effects. How'd you get that? Coupon code? I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about the sales side of stuff. Bang for your buck. So, yeah, I think I'll most likely have a review on this by tomorrow, but you guys kind of got like the sneak peek version of what I think about this. But I think that for the most part, it's pretty sick. God, I'm so bad at guitar. I also have to cut my nails, but how does it work? Filter table and wavetable work with plucks? Well, that's what this is, pretty much. It's a pluck. If we apply this, with and without sustain. Yeah, it sounds really good. I'm watching my guitar fall over in slow motion. It's like a movie. We can duck the feedback of this just a bit, or the delay. But, I mean, as you can hear, it sounds really good. That's a little harsh. Ouch. I'm sorry. Maybe we can just do some good old-fashioned reverb instead. You're asking the same question again? I thought that's why we were going through this. Like, I don't know. Did I not answer your question, or do you need a different, more specific thing? Or I'm gonna just email them and see if being a sweetheart, loyal customer gives you a discount. If not, I'm still buying it. I'd say it's not really my place, but I would say support the people. You know, I know that everyone is looking for a deal and stuff, but like these guys work so hard on these things. Even if they did not sponsor me, sorry, not sponsor, but like they didn't work with me on stuff, I'd still buy their shit. It's so, yeah. I mean, if you look at my track history, 90% of everything that I make is in Faceplant. And actually, Faceplant is the reason why I have a job. Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I don't know. If you like their sounds, like it's not perfect. There are some things that I still want them to change, but ouch. I mean, there's not even. Is there a. Oh, there is. Okay. I was like, Jesus. Even still. Like this is giving this like a physical. Well, I guess it's because it's convolution that makes sense, but it's doing it in a way that is like it doesn't sound dingy. No, that's what filter table is it's convolver table, basically. This is filter table is actually a wavetable convolution device that can be modulated in real time. Like watch their, if you get a chance, watch their video on like how they explain it. And like even I didn't get it, but I think I do now. But this is definitely like I can't really like. All right, so the only thing for me personally that I would like them to add is just they have one thing that's on the way that I can't talk about that I'm very excited about, and I have to see how it sounds. But I still think that they need a dedicated non like phase rotation or phase rotated uh OTT multiband compressor, because doing this in multipass does not, it doesn't yield the same results. And maybe I'll talk with them about it or something, about like how to get closer to what's going on. But my suspicion is that because there is so much phase rotation and because you can, I don't know, can you modulate this? No, you can't modulate this. But because you can modulate the stuff within multipass, while it's awesome, it doesn't provide the same amount of power. Vocoder, I guess. Fuse does not have linear phase, but to be honest with you, it sounds so good. It sounds so good anyways. Like listen. The way that it brings up a lot of the high end, especially when it comes into basses. Let me find that rejected thing that we did. We'll just call it that way. But check this out. So that, yeah, Morph is pretty cool. I think that it's not dramatic enough, or there's something weird about it though that makes it very difficult to use in a way that I like. What is this? Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so if you take something like this, let's take the other one actually, because I like it better. Right? Listen to what Fuse can do to this. It is going to get louder, so louder is going to be perceived as better, but it's going to help push up a lot of the high end that is like being, that's like very quiet. So without it, with it, it just makes everything so much crispier. Yeah. By the way, like I said, everyone that is a Ether subscriber for the memberships, I'm gonna give you everything that I made today in the Discord. So if you want these sounds, then you can, I guess, get them all for $5. Yay. I like to give things out. Now we need an additive filter, referring to Zebra 3. Yeah. I think for me, I just want something that's going to help push the high end of these sounds a little more. Like if there was a fuse compressor style device exclusively for faceplant that's a snap-in and not a rack, I think that it would benefit it a ton. Because if you look here, like, you know, I'm no stranger to like making my own OTT and stuff, but it is very difficult to get it to sound the way that I want it to with multipass. Just because I think that there's just some kind of phase rotation going on with it that makes it seem kind of strange. But yeah, it's neither here nor there, I guess. But so yeah, if we try to get something like this, I don't know what's going to happen, but we can try. You see, like, it's almost like it's focusing on different things to pull out, but it's really holding back off of that high end. I personally don't like it, but I mean, I can show you. Oh god. Like, it makes it loud, but you see how this has more air on it? And then this just, like, kind of kills it. Yeah, Fuse is just, it just works way better. I don't know. Maybe there's a way, but I haven't found it. And if anybody, like, I've made several of these to try to get something even remotely similar to just the regular OTT, which, oops. Yeah, like, it's okay. Which maybe I might just do that anyways and just get used to it or something. I think that there may be something to be said about that as well, but I don't know. Yeah, even with OTT though, like if you just see how much more aggressive that makes it? I didn't realize this about OTT, but like of everything here, it's really about the downward. I wish I would have known that in my earlier years when I used to use this on everything and hate it, because I would just turn the depth up and the time and like not really touch anything or like fuck with the thresholds here and stuff. But nah, man, this is where it's at. You want to make shit loud, just fuck with this. But yeah, like see how much more aggressive that makes it? And that's why you can get away with doing something like that and then just be like, oh god, what's it? Yep, sorry. But it still sounds pretty good, even with 3 of these. I fucking hate OTT because of this. Like, you see how much more crispy it makes it? It's just annoying that that's a thing. Like, I don't... it pisses me off that that's a thing. And... ugh, whatever. Whatevs. I had a lot of fun today. I don't really have anything else that I want to cover. Does anybody else have anything that you want to discuss or questions, comments, observations about stuff? I think I'm cooked for sounds. I had a lot of fun, and I'm really happy with the new table filter table, whatever. I always mix those two up, but I also think that I have like some form of speech dyslexia, if that's a real thing, because I always mix up my words and the syntax of my sentences. Notice I had to say that like very on point. I had to be like very on point with that. Yeah, so couple things. For one, thank you, everybody. I hope that you had just as much fun as I did. Two, there's been advertisements up in the right corner of presets and stuff that I have for sale. I've got a bunch of sounds like this on my website. I'll definitely be making more now that Filter Table is coming out. And then if you want to support the channel maybe on a more affordable means, I have memberships for my channel. Yo, Virtual Riot. Came in at the right moment just until the end. Yeah, we did lots of experimentation tonight. Good luck on your show, by the way. I would be playing cards. But yeah, I think it's super cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, and then I have my releases and stuff on my website as well if you're interested in my music. So there's that. But much love, everybody. Good luck on the show. I'm gonna get ready to go, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah. Bye, everyone.